Hi, welcome to my Messy Fingers. I'm Charlie. I am going to do a walkthrough with you of an album I've just finished. It is featuring Stamperia's Brocante Antiques collection, and I want to give a big shout out to Scrap and Create. They sent me this beautiful collection and then left me to my own creativity in making this album. It does measure at 10 by 9. I made it that large because there's some large elements within this collection because it's a 12 by 12, and I wanted an album that would lend to those larger items. Now you can do this in an 8 by 8. You just need to make the adjustments for your measurements. So here on the front, I did choose kind of a cream colored base cardstock to help pull out some of the cream that's in the collection, but then I accented it in a dark chocolate brown cardstock so that there was an additional pop of color, the dark brown against some of these beautiful teals and rose colors in this. I did put on a couple of the filigrees from a packet of brass items that Scrap and Create sent to me. And here on the front, we have the teddy bear, which is one of the chipboard elements. I did fussy cut out the books, and I did fussy cut out the lamp, and I mounted them on some little pop-ups. This is a chipboard piece. It's one of the tea sets. I don't know if you can see that in the glare. There we go. And then I tucked this cut apart in behind the teddy bear so that if you're looking at a shelf, then you're looking at elements behind it that might be in an antique store. Now, it did have a little top on it. I cut it off because it was really hard to kind of work with once I trimmed in and around it. The side piece here is what was left off of the 12 by 12 that I used for this. And then this beautiful, lovely piece back here. And we have a ribbon closure. Now, a lot of the things that I've done to make this album, you do not have to do, but I do want to walk you through some of the things that I've done. This is one of the big elements that I wanted to play into on the album. It is a large storefront, and I wanted it to kind of stand on its own. So my attempt here was to make kind of a cobblestone that these might be sitting on, that this would be the storefront. And then this piece was originally on the left side. So when I cut this out, I placed this in the back. And a little bit of note on this, I was watching Stamperia go through this with the designer, and I think his name is Antonio. I might be wrong on that. But he indicated that they were actually in this building filming the display of this collection. So I think that's kind of a fun note to know. So I fussy cut around this and made a big, large flap out of it, and I put a tuck over here. There's plenty of room to put a photo in there. Come on, get in there. And then this is that small piece that I chose to leave here on the right-hand side. So it would be great for some smaller photos to be stacked in there. And I did a pocket. And throughout, I chose to use that dark chocolate brown as an additional accent in color. So you'll see that I've used that throughout. So that's a snap closure. And then we have this cute piece, this paper. I fussy cut out the hat boxes and the bird, and I also fussy cut out the teddy bear and the hat boxes and popped them up. I mounted them on dark chocolate cardstock so that they would stand out a little bit better. And then when you open this, we have a big tuck, and then this is a chipboard element that I put here. And then we have another tuck here on this side, and a nice big pocket. And here's some chipboard elements. I took one of the chipboard roses and then fussy cut out some of the smaller floral elements out of the cut apart page. And then as we move here, this one I dedicated to photography. If you go into a lot of the antique stores, you might see a lot of old items relating to photography, old cameras, etc. So I fussy cut this, popped it up, backed it on some dark brown cardstock. This was one of the chipboard elements. I've popped that up a little bit. And these two pieces are actually a 12 by 12. So I cut here and used the remaining piece here, and I fussy cut these and popped this up as well after mounting it on some brown cardstock. So then when you open this up, you have a nice pocket over here with plenty of room here for photos. Here's one of the chipboard pieces. And then I used one of the scraps and created just a nice square pocket. And then we have another large length pocket. This is one of the cut aparts, and as well as this. This is a chipboard piece, and I thought this was perfect because this was one of my leftovers. So I cut it to fit. And then here's one of the big cards. And I have another tuck over here. And this one, I chose not to challenge myself to fussy cutting this out, and I think anyone that makes this will be relieved. I just left it as it is, and then used one of these tags as the magnet closure. In here on this side, we have a belly band so that you can tuck photos or other mementos in behind here. We used a tag. I put one of the chipboard pieces, it's a pair of scissors here. And then over here we have another small pocket, and I fussy cut out the teacups and mounted them on brown cardstock so that they would pop. These two pages being brown, I wanted to kind of break that up just a little bit, so I did put some panel pieces in here that simply to help break up some of this color here. And then when you open it up, we have a few more tucks, and we have a nice pocket here. This is a chipboard piece, so is this and this, but these are fussy cut, these petals here. Leaves, excuse me, and then these little floral, and then this I fussy cut so that these just stacked on each other and created, I thought, a really nice element. I was going the wrong way. Okay, this one's a little bit different. So one sheet that I cut to kind of create a timepiece a page in here, and this is a chipboard piece as well as this. Underneath of this is actually some images similar to this, so I'm just kind of stacking on top of here. So this is going to open up, and up here we have a pocket, nice pocket, and I used some chipboard pieces here with one of the cutout sayings off the phrase sheet. And then when we get down here, this is just left for journaling, putting in your personal notes, dates, times, whatever. Great space for photos. And then when you open this up, we've got a couple of pockets. And then we have a big deep pocket here. I wanted to play with this particular piece. But this is a fussy cut out of the cut apart sheets as well as this. And this is your timepiece that came out of the large cut apart sheet. But this is a big chipboard piece. So I've kind of layered them in here a little bit. And then the last signature, I loved this piece of paper and I wanted to kind of save it for the last so I could figure out what I was going to do with it. So I did fussy cut out the teacup and I mounted it on some brown cardstock so that it would kind of pop, it would stand up. We have a little tag closure here. The spoon came out of the cut apart sheet as well as the last remaining of the little floral, so I've kind of stacked them on there. This came out of the sheet of sayings that was full of postcards. Now, this piece and this piece were 112 by 12 sheet. So when I cut this, I had a long piece remaining, and it came down to about here. So what I did was I lowered this to match this piece, and I cut it off, and there was a strip that was left, and on that strip were some of these flowers. So I fussy cut them out and then laid them in here, and then accented it with one of the chipboard floral pieces, so that this had a really, I think, a really nice pretty element on it. And you really don't even notice this the way I've got it set in here. So then this opens up, and you can put photos here. I'm going to get over here to this side. And then over here, this was one of the last remaining large pieces that was in the chipboard, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with it, but I wanted to play with it. I just didn't want to not have it used. So I mounted it on some chipboard, because this has got some beautiful color all by itself, and I was placing it on this paper, which is full of color and pattern. So I did back this on some brown cardstock, and then I taped along here so that it's a nice tuck. Now this is pretty sturdy, so it will hold a little bit heavier items in your album for tucking in behind here. And then we have a small tuck here, great place here for photo. And then when you open it up, these two came off the same by 12 by 12. So the knife actually came in here on this piece. And I left this alone so that you can just put your photos in here and use these beautiful elements as the back for any photos that you have. This is a big pocket. Now here I did a little bit of layering. This is one of the last lamp pieces. That's a chipboard piece. I placed it in there. And then these are came out of that cut apart sheet. So the bird is sitting on a stack of hat boxes. So I placed it in next to the lamp, and then this teddy on a hat box and this teddy by itself. So that created a nice stacked element there. And that is Stamperia's Brocante Antiques. And again, thank you to Scrap and Create for having sent me this collection, and I will hope to see you soon on the next one.